Hey y'all, look, I'm still out here. I told you I'm staying in this pool until the world ends. Now I know that Ouija demon said it was going to be yesterday, and it never happened. And then the Simpsons said it was going to be on Thursday, and I was thinking, if one of them's off just a little bit, Wednesday falls right between them 2 days right there. It could be on Wednesday, and look, I ain't trying to, not be in the water whenever this thing. I don't know what's going to happen, and I think this water can protect me. I done been through this before. All right, look, it was about a year ago, I guess, about a year ago. But it happens every year. But last year, y'all remember whenever the moon passed in front of the sun? Y'all remember that, right? And look, all them evangelicals got up there on the interwebs and told me little brown hippie baby Jesus was coming and was going to rapture all of us, just suck us right off and give us our sky mansion, y'all. I didn't want to miss out on my sky mansion, so I got to looking into it, what I was supposed to do, and it turned out it was a little weird, but we're supposed to be having earthquakes that day too, because the moon passed in front of the sun, and little brown hippie baby Jesus was going to come stare at the sun with us and then suck us all off, Well, thing is I found out he wouldn't come get me if I wasn't butt naked. And I'm like, well, that's a little weird. I've got to be butt naked. Everybody's got to get butt naked or little brown hippie baby Jesus won't get it. So I did it. I went ahead and stripped down there, and I tied myself to a tree in the front yard so I didn't fly away in case of them earthquakes. Little brown hippie baby Jesus never even showed up, y'all. Not the whole time. I got sunburned for nothing, and I got ghosted. I got ghosted by little brown hippie baby Jesus, so I kind of learned my lesson. I'm like, well, next time we're going to have some sort of apocalypse or rapture or something, I'm going to be in a swimming pool, For that, I might get sunburned in the pool, but at least I'll be cool while I do it. I was sweating out there, But anyway, so I'm hanging out here, still waiting on that end of the world thing going on, but I was bored, y'all, and I got to looking into some stuff and started reading on some news and everything. And you know what I found out? This is crazy right here. Did you know that the state of Texas has got laws on the books, has since 1973, talking about regulating on how many vibrating devices that a woman can have, y'all. Vibrating devices. Yeah. How many a woman can have, y'all. Been on the books since 1973. Oh, 6. I'm sorry. Yeah, 6 is what they can have, y'all. 6. That seems to be the magic number. No, not inches. It's how many they can have. I don't know if there's a size limit or not. I didn't even look into that. I didn't even think about that. But no, they can have 6, y'all. For some reason, 6 is a magic number for them. And I don't know why it's a magic number. It don't make no sense to me, because I was counting. I was like, well, there's only so many places that they could really. But anyway, so 6 is the magic number for some reason. Well, I'm like, why are they regulating on that right there? That's been on the books since 1973, and them things have changed a lot, y'all, over the years. They're different. See, back then, you probably had to plug that sucker into a wall outlet. You know what I mean? You probably had to plug that sucker into a wall outlet to get that thing to work right and everything. Not today. Them things have come a long way, and I've seen them, They charge up on some USBs and stuff like that. They Bluetooth, y'all. They can operate them from their phones. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, they modernized them now, but they've been having all the laws in Texas since you had to plug them into a wall. So anyway, they want to make more laws about that. Texas is. Now then they're saying that the women folk, that they got to show identification there if they have to buy one on the interwebs. If they order on the interwebs, they got to show an ID, y'all. And I think that right there is a slippery slope. I do, right? Because they're trying to create one of them databases so they know where to go get them to do the roundups, y'all, and the vibrating things. That's what it is. That's a slippery slope. That's a vibrator base is what that is. So anyway, I ain't down with that kind of stuff, doing roundups on them vibrating things. That ain't right there. And see, hey, look, you fake ass patriots out there, you Trump supporters, look, that's the kind of stuff y'all vote for. That's why everybody thinks y'all's a bunch of weirdos. Right there it is, because Republicans always want to be legislating up on people's personal stuff and up in people's personal stuff, Ain't none of damn business about what women do with the vibrating things. And if you're down with that and you're living out there in Texas and you're one of them men that's like, yeah, them women shouldn't have no more than 6 of them things. You feel like you're competing with it, don't you? Oh boy, you can't compete with one of them things. Well, look. Don't be hating on the women because of it, because it's not them, it's you. I promise you. Work on your meat game. How about do that, all right? Quit legislating on the women folk all the time. Damn. So, anyway, y'all always voting for people that's concerned about people's genitalias and what they do in their bedrooms. That's weird right there. That's really weird because I don't see Democrats doing that at all. And I know that y'all are obsessed with it because I see it in my comments all the time, because whenever you do get my comments, you always say something stupid like, well, Democrats don't know the difference between a man or a woman. Look, we do know the difference between a man and a woman. We're just not obsessed with it like you are, as you can tell by the way that the porn industry releases its search results every year. And y'all are always looking up the transgendered pornographies there in your red states, okay? So we know what it's all about. Plus, y'all did shut down the Milwaukee Grindr server twice, y'all, looking for hookups. You know, some pole to pole, hole to pole, pole to hole. I don't know what you do with it. Hey, maybe it's figure it out at your hunting camp, because you know the whole rule there too. What happens at hunting camp stays at the hunting camp. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean. So anyway, y'all are overcompensating, projecting, and doing all that stuff. And y'all are legislating on the women folk. Y'all need to stop doing that, all right? Leave the women's vibrating stuff alone, and it's always y'all over there with the P3DO stuff, with the preachers and stuff, the kid-touching preachers and things. I mean, look at the people that y'all vote for, like Ted Cruz. That's a creepy dude right there. Every time I hear him speak, I'm like, yep, he sounds like one of them kid-touchers. Yep, he sure does. And especially that Speaker of the House of Gilead, Commander Mike Johnson, another one right there. Dude gives me the heebie-jeebies, y'all. And y'all support him, you fake-ass patriots. So anyway, y'all need to stop worrying about what women doing, and besides that, your little red state legislators are from time to time always trying to introduce legislation to marry on some 13-year-old girls. Okay, so it's your side you need to be concerned about, not the Democrats. All right, inmate Trump.